all of a sudden everybody else has had issues.
But everybody else has had issues. However, we are live, coast to coast, border to border. And yes, oh wait, it's the porn show. I can say boner to boner. You are listening to Fucking Around with Porn Stars on Skyhawk, AfterDarkRadio.com, and of course, Spotify, TalkShoe, all the various places. And you can find all of our videos uploaded at jiggyjaguar.info. And we have got a fantastic, fantastic guest with us today. Tyler James is with us. He is fantastic. He is just an amazing individual. He is going to be part of Southern Pleasures Expo coming up in Dallas, Texas. And it's actually Dallas, Texas. It's not like
McKinney.
Some of these, yeah. Some of these other conventions that are like we're live from, and then they're like, well, not really. This is actually going to be in Dallas. So, Tyler, you are amazing, my friend. Talk to us a little bit about yourself. How'd you get started doing this content creation thing?
Well, I'm Tyler James, to go by TJ. I didn't really have any desire, to really be in front of the camera when CJ first started. It was something that, we started it for her and was super excited to get her going. And, I did a few things in front of the camera here and there. And there was one weekend that we were down in Miami with the Hot Wife Tour, and they were needing a few extra guys. And so CJ walks up to me and slaps me on the ass and says, "Tag, you're in. You got to jump in and help out." And I haven't looked back since. So maybe that's what I needed, was just that little bit of push to get where we are today. So.
All right. So this was a Jiggy. She did not reveal that he had no intention of being on camera.
No,
this is fresh news. This is fresh. That little minx. So your wife, do you say she started off first? Out of curiosity, how many months or years before you kind of like, okay, she came in, give us her name, give the people where to find her on Twitter also.
So,
and then
Carter
let
James.
us know how long that was.
All right. So my wife is Carter James. CJ Hot Wife is on her Twitter there. So she started back in 2020, just kind of like everybody else did, but it was just kind of just some pictures here and there, maybe some self-play videos. It wasn't really anything too crazy for about the first 2 years. And then right about Christmas time, 2022, she did her first collab. And then January 2023, she kind of just hit the ground running. And I would say it was about till July of 2023 before I actually started jumping in and truly doing some stuff. I mean, I did a few here and there, but like I said, I preferred to stay behind the camera at that time. And about July 2023 is when I kind of hit the ground just running as well.
That's a few years. Okay, that's fair enough. And how would you say? What do you? I know you mentioned you got slapped on the ass. Tag, you're in. What was that moment like for you, man? What was that feeling?
A little overwhelming, honestly. Here you are in a house full of porn stars, such as the likes of Holly Hot Wife and stuff, so these bigger name ladies. And so it was kind of wild. So it took me a second to take a couple deep breaths and say, okay, I got this. And it was great. It absolutely was great.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
So we have got a great guest with us today. Tyler James joins us here on our big program, and he is going to be part of a big event, the Southern Pleasures Expo. How in the world did you get linked up with these folks?
Yeah, how did y'all get into this?
Well, so last year we saw something about them coming to town, and we said, well, hey, they're right in our backyard. And so CJ reached out and submitted the application to be one of the creators there, and they accepted her. And so, we weren't sure what to expect because it was her first year, and we had a good time. We really did. They put on a really good show, and especially like all the vendors and people that were there, like it was just a really good time. It was. And so when the opportunity to do it again this year, we jumped in, and this time I actually applied to be one of the creators that were going to be there this time as well. So last year I was just kind of mule. I was the one that packed everything in for her and helped set her up and all that good stuff. And so, I mean, I'm sure I'll do that this year as well. But yeah, so I'll probably have a booth right next to hers.
Oh, that is wonderful. And Tyler, has this been the only convention that y'all have been to? Have you done Exotica, XBiz, AVN, any of the other ones?
So we've been to AVNs, and she's been to several Exoticas. I haven't had a chance yet to check that out. Schedule's always kind of crazy. Normally, I kind of stay back in some of those to take care of home duties. But yeah, we both did AVN last year, and super excited to do AVN again this year.
All right, and we'll see you there as well. Make sure we get some interview time in.
Absolutely.
That is fantastic. And Tyler, we talk a lot about, we often talk to the women folk around here for that. So, I think a lot of guys kind of wonder, and so we'll just kind of ask you, how was it for you? You see her performing with somebody else. Is it hot, turn on? Do you feel like a voyeur? Do you step outside yourself? Or what's the modality? Because I bet you there's a lot of guys out there right now who are kind of like, okay, how's that work? So, paint a picture.
So for us, we started in the lifestyle way before we started even thinking about content or any of that stuff. And so I was having these dreams that I would catch her with somebody else, right? And instead of waking up and some guy's jealousy would be all pissed off that something happened in their dream, I was like, damn, this is super hot, And so after a few of these dreams, I brought it up to her and I said, hey, I've been having these dreams. And she's like, hey, can you let's not talk about that ever again. She kind of squashed that real fast. And, it's because, again, it's just go against the norms, right? And so, right. So one night, we had a couple drinks and we were home together and we were having some wild, crazy sex. And I just remember her being on top of me and she like slings her head back and slings her head forward and just stops and goes, I want to try that fantasy that you talked about. And I said, all right, well, let's talk about it tomorrow when we're sober. And so the next day, we talked about it and said, okay, well, let's give it a try, And so we went to Tinder. Where else would you go find a single guy when you know nothing about the lifestyle and how so we found one guy that had experience with couples and we had a list of rules that was, a whole legal page long of things that, you can't do this and can't do this and can't be in this position. And quickly you learned that all of that shit goes out the window, right? Because that's pretty unrealistic for the most part anyways. But yeah, so that's really kind of how we started. And so moving into content, honestly, it just makes it really easy in that aspect because, we've already crossed a lot of those hurdles that some of these other couples are having to navigate while navigating content as well. So it's kind of made that a little bit easier on our end.
That is amazing. I like that journey aspect. I think you said it best. I think if you come from it's a weird thing. It depends on which way you flip into it. If you start off lifestyle, moving into content, it's kind of easier to accept. I think there are a lot of people playing the home game, Jiggy, that still don't quite understand the whole thing, but they love watching us make it. So Tyler, that's an awesome story.
And I absolutely love it. And like my biggest way to really explain it is, you can't see the forest through the trees, right? And what I mean by that is when you're with your person, you're right there connected. You can't see everything that she's doing. You can't see the movements that she's making, all of the facial features. I mean, you can't see everything. So when you kind of step outside of that and then you see your person that you love the most in pure pleasure, you see her in just pure ecstasy. It's one of the most erotic things that you can actually watch because you can see it all. You can see exactly the way that she's breathing and how she's moving. And it's, to me, that's my favorite part.
Oh, Lord, yes. Yeah.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. We didn't get this level of detail from the wife, Jiggy. Remember that? I like it.
So Tyler, you're going to be at Southern Pleasures Expo. What exactly besides the whole, because of course, one of the good things about Southern Pleasures Expo is you can make porn at the porn convention.
Oh my God.
Whereas when you go to Exotica, no. It's a Comic-Con.
Yeah, Bolton. You can read it in the Code of Conduct.
It's a Comic-Con and there's a Code of Conduct. However, when you are at the Southern Pleasures Expo, they encourage people to fuck each other.
Which I did not know.
It's amazing.
Oh, we have some things to tell you all there. what does your schedule look like for that,
Yeah.
or have you even thought about doing that part of it yet?
Honestly, like, any kind of events it just wears you out. I mean, it's dealing with the public, and everybody has a social battery, right? You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah.
And those days are long. You're on your feet. And honestly, like the last thing that both either CJ and I want to do is after the expo's over with is like, all right, well, now we have 3 or 4 collabs we got to go take care of and got to go make some porn, So usually during events and stuff, we don't set anything up just because it's just too exhausting, honestly, to make it all happen.
I admire that. We generally have. I speaking for a lot of our crew, we have some guys and girls on our company that it's like that. Man, as soon as that booth time is over, they may be exhausted as hell from all day signing autographs and doing shit. They're texting Jiggy and I, ready to fuck. Let's go. Let's go. Time to film. I don't know where they get the energy. Maybe I'm just old as fuck, Jiggy. I don't know.
That must
But
be us too.
I cannot. So that's good. So what kind of things that the folk can expect from you and your wives' booths while they're at Southern Pleasures Expo? What sort of little goodies and tantalizing treats will you have this holiday season?
Well, I know that she has a few things up her sleeve, as far as merch and stuff that
Ooh,
she's working on getting finalized and stuff. So I'll let her share all that stuff when it comes out. There's definitely things I think she's going to have a little tip menu where if people want to, tip, she'll do lap dances
ooh,
and
nice.
all the sitting on them and all that different kind of stuff. I think that you might see at some of the other expos and stuff like that. As far as mine goes, honestly, I don't know yet. I'm still working on trying to figure out what I'm going to get and what I'm going to have there. So I'm always kind of a last minute guy, so I'm sure I'll figure it out right beforehand.
Well, if our girl Sophia shows, I know she's going to want to get a lap dance from you, and you're going to love
Bring it
giving
on.
it too.
Yeah, bring it on.
So, yeah. And she'll love that Argentinian accent. She's going to woo you with that, make you putty in her arms. I'll tell you what. It's something. Well, and I think it's great, that you two are doing this together, and I think it's great. So, out of curiosity, I think I forgot to ask her this. Do you guys do, on top of the standard porn stuff, do you guys do camming together, like Chatterbait or Strip Chat as a couple?
We have not. Last weekend we were down in Houston with Abby Rose,
Yes.
and she's a big chatterbaiter,
Yes.
and so that was the first time that we've ever done a chatterbait session, or I don't even know what you actually call it, but that was the first time we went live, and it was interesting. It was neat to see that. That's part of the industry that we haven't really dabbled in yet, and it's definitely something that we probably are going to start looking into, maybe to try to even just start sticking our toes in it just a little bit and see what happens.
It is a lot of fun. It's where I started off my career with marketing, advertising, PR, working with models across Chatterbait, and then behind the scenes on MFC and some of the other ones. I have an affinity for it. Jiggy knows I always try to squeeze it in a little bit, any chance we get. But no, it's great. I'm glad you did. Abby's a great person.
Oh, absolutely.
If you're going to go on for the first time, can't think of a better soul to do it with.
It was a lot of fun. It
Yeah.
definitely was interesting. That's for sure.
Yeah, the audience can, you get some weirdos. I'm not going to lie about that shit. But, if you got a good admin on your side, you can kind of filter that out. But I'm glad you guys had a great time. And yeah, a little bit hotter down here than it is up there up in North Texas.
So Tyler, what is your, besides the booth and the content, what is your typical schedule like for instance when you go to put some of your content up, what is that like? Are you a once a week guy, or you release, just take us through this, because a lot of people don't really know the behind the scenes of something like that.
So I try to, if I can, I try to release something at least weekly if I can. Sometimes that's easier said than done because, like for me, I don't get a chance to film as near as often as I'd like to, so it's really hard. So if I can get at least 2 scenes out a month, hey, that's great. That's why my OnlyFans page is free, right? It's like I don't believe I'm not going to charge anybody to be my OnlyFans. I'll definitely charge for my videos, but I'm not going to have that subscription rate just because I can't put out enough to keep that. Good for a paying customer or a subscribing customer, monthly customer, anyways, for that. But yeah, so I try to put out, a couple times a month if I can. If not, maybe some solo stuff. But definitely try to, at least get pictures and, some kind of picture posted at least daily out there, and also on all of the other social medias. And then I also help, CJ with a lot of her stuff as well. So I'm helping her, edit videos and get her pictures done and everything else. So, I definitely help her out a ton with that as well.
You sound like you're the good porn husband. She did extol your virtues quite extensively. She talked about how, honestly, she said it's part of the job, and I think this goes for every porn couple that I think Jiggy and I know for sure. One person's like, I just don't touch the editing. I don't, it's just a lot. Somebody take the pictures, somebody shoot the film, and somebody edit it, but I just want to look pretty and have some fun. But she did talk very highly of you and spoke very well about how you have been her rock in terms of being able to get that content out there. And speaking of getting content out there, what, you talked about OnlyFans. I'm assuming that's hers too. What other channels, like Loyal Fans and all, what all are you all on? And which one do you feel has been the best success for either you, her, or just both of y'all?
Well, both of us, obviously OnlyFans, that's the biggest one. And then we do a lot of stuff on mini vids as well. I'm starting to get better about mini vids. Being with a few people over the weekend, they really were, speaking Fansly's praises. And so that's something that, we both have Loyal Fans accounts and Fansly's accounts, but we just, we're so busy with everything else. It's very mentally overwhelming to try to keep up with all the other ones. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to start, moving and learn more, because, we found out about Fansly, about how they're, they have their own algorithm and stuff like that. And so we're going to start pushing more into trying to explore that option as well.
Makes sense. And it is tough. It feels like there's another one that Jiggy and I were just talking to another performer, I think it was Sunday or whatever. We said, it feels like one of these damn things pops up every week. A new place to go push stuff out at. You talked a little bit about ManyVids. I didn't know if you were aware of their shift and what they've been doing. I didn't know if you heard about that, about they're trying to move creators away from sex work to, I guess, the owners.
They've decided they need to save
I think
sex workers.
I think you found Jesus or something, which is fine. Religion, if that's your thing, go for it. But it just struck me as odd. I didn't know what your thoughts were about a platform that was built on sex work now telling people, yeah, don't bother.
Well, so we're just now learning a little bit about it. I don't know enough, about it yet to really have an opinion one way or the other. I really hope maybe they change their mind when they realize the kind of money that they're going to start losing if they push that route, right? But yeah, so I was actually, before we jumped on, I was just kind of reading an email that was kind of talking about, moving more for safer work stuff and trying to invite more safer work creators to their platform and stuff. And so, like I said, I'm still trying to brush up on that because I don't know the whole ins and outs on what they're doing there.
Yeah, it was quite the bizarre treasure trove of stuff that they posted whenever they first announced it. And I was like, look, nobody's going to, I mean, all due respect to everybody that bakes, I don't think anybody's going to be there watching people bake chocolate chip fucking cookies fully dressed. No offense, right? I mean, you find this is what Food Network is for. That's why we have those channels, HGTV.
Absolutely.
It just struck Jiggy and I were just completely shocked. I'm in the middle of, college football, and on a Saturday, and then I'm having the damn heart attack that I did with my Aggies going down, like they did the first half. So in the middle of my heart attack, I'm seeing this shit from ManyVids, and I thought somebody had to pull out a defibrillator because that was too much at once,
Right.
So it was way too much at once. But no, good call on that. I think I also have a few channels. I'm a big believer in diversity. Now I can't recall. Did y'all both have Instagrams as well?
I'm sorry. Both have what?
Instagrams.
We do. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we do have Instagram. We both have TikToks. And that's TikToks is it's a beat down, right? Because you post one little thing and they don't like it, and they all of a sudden, your account's banned or something, and so she's went through I don't know how many accounts, or it gets so frustrating. We're like, we don't even want to touch TikTok for a while. But yeah, we both have Instagram and TikTok. Yeah.
Shit, again, I have a Facebook that barely has anything nude on it. And every time they see Giovanni Valentino, it boots me out of there. So I feel you on that, my friend. I feel you. Jiggy, I have been hogging the mic.
No. You're good. You're good. So we've got Tyler James with us today. So one of the things that we read about in all the Telegram groups, and we hear about all the stuff in the super secret dark chocolate group and all these various things, is it seems like the only guys that are getting any action
Oh,
in
Lord.
porn
Oh, he's going there. He's about to go there.
are the black guys with abs. How do you continue to get booked? Because it's like, is it the cowboy hat? Is it the?
Oh my God, Jiggy, Jesus!
I mean, it definitely sets me apart, right? I mean, there's really
Yeah.
there's kind of two of us out there, two cowboys that are out there. It's myself and Cole Daniels, the real
Cole
cowboy
Daniels,
daddy,
yep.
if y'all know who he is. Great buddy of mine. We love him to death. But yeah, so really, there's only about two of us that are kind of doing this. So I think it kind of definitely sets us apart and makes us a little bit more
Very
attractive in
cool.
that aspect.
I would agree. Let me ask a bizarre question on a cowboy fashion. The hat, is that a Texas Standard hat from Austin, or is that a Stetson? What kind of hat is that?
So
It's
this is
hat.
there's a company that I found that they're on the cheaper end. I say cheaper, right? I mean, it's still
It doesn't look
expensive, right? It's still an expensive hat, right? But it's not compared to like some of the other like some of the other hats that are $300-400. I kind of go through hats a lot, whether that's if a fan wants me to sign it and buy my hat, I'm all for that. Especially like when it comes to straw hats in summertime, I destroy them. So it doesn't make any sense to go out and spend the kind of money on on an American hat, that I'm just going to tear up, especially because, every pool party I go to, no matter what it is or where I'm at, whether I'm in LA or Vegas or what, I have my cowboy hat on. Right. And so they sometimes they walk off, sometimes they don't. But there is this company out of Florida called Gone Country that I just found them just on a whim off of Instagram one day. And I bought one of their straw hats. And I fell in love with it. It fit great. I really, really liked it. And so when I saw that they had that exact same style in that straw hat and felt hat, I went ahead and bought this felt hat to check it out. And so far I like it. So I've only had this in about 3-4 days now, and it's definitely nice. I like it.
There is a company out of Austin. They do not pay or sponsor us. Let me get that out of the way first. Called Texas Standard. They have that looks like because I was going to say. They have a hat's about that exact design and look. It's about $425, and I was like, oh, and I was thinking about that too because I was like, if he's going to parties with this thing, those things walk off. I've had two, and I know how it is. You're like, all right, I'm not taking the good ones out like that anymore to naughty events.
I think this one was like $180.
Oh,
so on the budget, as many hats as I go through, it's definitely worth it for me.
Yeah, I got to get Jig. Now, Jiggy's a Midwestern boy, so I got to kind of still working on getting him into a cowboy hat. I think he would definitely have that sheriff kind of boss hog kind of constable look.
I think the only and I'm hoping Tyler gets this reference, but the only kind of cowboy hat I will probably wear is the same kind of hat that Shawn Michaels wears.
Oh my God.
Down at NXT, so with the black scrunched up cowboy.
Yep, I've seen it.
But so we've got Tyler James with us today. He joins us live here in our broadcast. So you did as our good friend Patrick Palmer from Jizz Talking would say, a fuck house last weekend. You did a content house.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that and some of the different people that were there.
Yeah.
Obviously CJ was there. We were there with Abby Rose, Casey Kennedy, Katie Carr. That was the ladies that were there, and then it was me and Katie Carr's man Lucas Wolf, and then Abby's man Jose. So it was just
Just y'all at the fuck house. All right, that'll work.
That's it. And it was nice. It was nice because it wasn't so overwhelming with people. It was you're able to be a little more laid back and just kind of enjoy each other's company. Really get a little more social media work in, doing reels and pictures and stuff like that, which is nice. And it's definitely was a lot slower paced than some of the other quote unquote fuck houses that we've been to. That's for sure.
Yeah. I don't know. It's funny because I don't know if you've met Patrick Palmer yet or not. I think we need to get him and his wife on the show there. See if Patrick will have both of them on. He has a great show called Jizz Talking. They're a friend of our show, and we actually got to host this show for his birthday. It's a fantastic show, and how he gets away with it, it's on Facebook, like live stream the group. I don't know how he does it, but he is such a polite man. He's got that Midwestern Iowa, just super nice. It's not dinner, it's supper. They're gonna go all eat supper together.
Everything's a pop. Everything's a pop.
Everything's a pop. Yep, everything's a pop.
Yep.
And then he'll just drop, and I don't know why. I mean, we're in porn, but when he says, "What are they at a fuck house?" and I'm like, "Whoa," my brain's just like, "This is from the man who's just, gosh darn it, that's not right." And I'm like, "Now you're just saying fuck house." So you said something which I wanted to pull a thread on for kind of people. Describe the difference for people that don't understand. When you have these fuck houses, and you've been in them when there are like 25, 30 people in there, explain kind of the dynamic between that and the more intimate crowd that you had at this one. Kind of give a vibe differential there. Tell us a little bit about what's the difference.
Like this one, this is obviously a laid back, relaxed vibe. The one that we're just at, the bigger houses, it's a work vibe, right? Everybody's in work mode. You have, it's basically nonstop from the time that you basically get up until you're done. All the ladies, they pretty much have they're depending on how they want to schedule their stuff out. It might be, they might have something scheduled every 2 hours, so they might be doing, say 4 or 5 collabs a day if they're truly trying to stay busy, or 4 or 5 shoots, and then as far as guys, it really just comes down to, what you can handle, so and that's why normally there's obviously way more guys usually than there is women when it comes to these things. So that way the ladies can take a break, and the guys can rest up a little bit as well. So, but those bigger houses are normally it's normally work until everybody's done. And then everybody will sit around, whether it be, in the living room, around the pool, or around a hot tub or something, and just kind of unwind and just kind of have a good time for a little bit, just to relax before you start the very next day all over again.
Oh, there's that. Yeah, I think a lot of people miss the work aspect of it. I think there's a lot of people that think that this is not that hard in terms of difficulty level, but I mean, you've got a lot of moving parts. A lot of people don't realize, scheduling, and then, oh, well, this is happening, that one's running over, and you have enough time to do this. And it is fun, but it is work. So I'm glad
it's a lot of work. Yeah, it's a lot of work.
That picture.
So we've got Tyler James with us today as we sort of wrap things up here with you, my friend. Where do we go for your content and downloading all your stuff and just making sure that we can give you some of that? We can get people to give them some of your hard-earned money.
Well, you can basically find me on everything, Mr._TJ Clean, whether that's Instagram, X, OnlyFans. I'm pretty easy, Mr._TJ Clean.
And clean spelled normally, CLEAN?
Yep, CLN. Yep.
No cutesy spellings. Got it. All right.
No cutesy spelling.
Like KLEEN. You know what I'm talking about? There's people that do that.
So is there a story behind the Mr. Clean thing?
I'm kind of wondering about that.
There is. Obviously, I'm a bald guy, right? So it's a buddy of mine at the time. We were hanging out, and I didn't have any socials at all. Again, because I didn't want to be in front of anything, and I was still wanting to be behind the camera. And he starts tagging everybody in these pictures, and he's like, and some Mr. Clean looking motherfucker. And so then that's kind of where the Mr. Clean kind of came from. So we just slapped my initials in front of it. Mr._TJ Clean was born.
I love it. I love it. Can't beat it. That's a good way to start. It's a good way to start. Let somebody else create the nickname.
That's awesome.
There you go. That's awesome.
Well, we definitely appreciate you being on. One more time, Southern Pleasures Expo, 12th through the 14th. You guys are going to be there, and it'll be a humdinger, as they say.
We're excited.
And Tyler, thanks for being with us. Really appreciate it, brother.
Thank y'all so much. We truly appreciate it. Thank y'all.
Yep.
All right.